All right, today we're going to look at some incredible art from Pieter Bruegel, I believe the Younger, in 1638, which is supposedly the year he died. And the book is called Speculum, Diversarum, Imaginum, Speculativarum, which means different mirror images of the speculative. Now keep in mind some of these translations will be a little off, but you're going to see some incredible art from one of the best artists I've ever seen. And this is my garden of earthly delights based on Bosch, who had a similar style to Pieter Bruegel and Pieter Bruegel the Elder. But these guys loved packing detail in, and this clearly, you know, a lot of people used camera lucida and different camera obscura techniques to get perfect painting techniques. But the scenes these guys painted, you couldn't have done that. So these guys were doing it from their head, which I believe is very possible. The Tower of Babel, absolutely incredible. I can't imagine the artworks of these guys that have survived that aren't seen by the public and are in different collections. This book is in the Smithsonian collection, so you never know what the year or really anything about it, or where it is if there's more of them. But there's a lot of amazing artwork I'm going to show you from this book. Absolutely incredible, and I'll translate all the little titles at the bottom. I saw this book and was like, I need to know what these things mean. So I picked some of the top 22 or something. Stay till the end because I'm going to show you a glimpse of the next part, which are going to be the planets and elements. But each one just really awesome, an incredibly diverse imagination of the speculative and the whole spectrum of it. And this guy is so amazing. So let's get into it. Check this stuff out. So from the top, different mirror images of the speculative, from the various learned men who are the forementioned, one of the painters and sculptors from the sticking delineatarum, a time to laugh, a time to weep is what it says in the direct center. And then here we go at the bottom. In the which is the universe of the world, of life, of the human, and all actions running it is, in the arts of the virtues, vices, the species, the spectators, in a series of other things here, to some extent, the curious, well-instructed, and studious man who had been watching, it was expressed, of their great and the taste of it, may find. John Gallius recently been brought into the light of the body is in one place, which it sends forth, in the hatch Antverpiae, next order of those devices, and the number shown. As it says at the bottom, Democratus, whatever he sees and hears in the world, nonsensical waste of ridiculous control. Heraclitus, of catches sight of the wretched Hydibria, of life, or inebriation of life, maybe, and of men in tears at the place of Perdolet. So I'm not really sure, but I believe that's the cover page. And a lot of stuff in there. Wow. All right, second one. 1,000 driven more recent years due to the nature of the meat. Spontaneously discovered crude, simplicity guilt of knowing, a fraud deity, and eternal promises to pastor. Wow. And each one is just totally packed. There's so many details, a lot of hidden faces and things. Just absolutely love these guys. Triple Lex, that's one of the main things too. There's a lot of gods, different goddesses. You never know what you're going to see in this. From this it is, under the laws of the holy, immaculate, when my health in the righteousness of the virgin of the evils of the greatest calm in canon law, the rule of the law, and of equal height the most holy things. A policy is a visitor in the right way, balancing the goddess of weight of the lobster. Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know, I didn't check into the names on there, but probably of ancient origin maybe. Alright, God's grace has arisen, sumino, not sure, finally. Or maybe God's grace has arisen, finally. That light of Christ replacing the darkness of night in nourishing blood, which is home to the parent stars, a scion of age, the victim of the world. I'm actually going to do a video in the future about how I think the universe is maybe a giant body and different hints towards that. And so here we go. Behold I, the God of the human race, in the nature of the creative, moss out of the cradle and in pregnancy from the belly are apparent. He leads one of the grievances, has a mellow moss with shade of Issos fortune, imposes on the accused who is powerful. Interesting. And this one was a little tough. It said, after suffering work, periwalk, afsueta, two different words, didn't get, discovered when he comes up ingenious, gives birth to age, and skills has come to see things in a larger quick leash and charged with attempting euphasis. So I'm not sure what that one is, really, but the labyrinth, I love that. The ancient ability and symbology of the labyrinth is nuts. Alright, lastly, whatever may be the case, or even bestowed by, nature, he took the mortal beginnings of the faith. Let it all be. Pacing is added to, little by little, ne'er shall, or never shall, at the time of the death of a high-spirited, transforms the life of you. Wow. So intense. Their skeletons, their scenes, their background, the architecture, amazing. When it is discovered early dawn, like his age, his first with no one who spontaneously, without the law, faith, worshipped equal rectums, will be given, O nature of the call. Could even be rectums, because they're showing butts, and God knows what these people were thinking. And I'm not sure if these are stories or whatever, but that lady has many breasts and is milking all those animals, and they all love it. The other guy's burying his head in the ground. Incredible. Such as the sun in the midst of the bright, revealing the body of the world, the day itself is in the middle of things, as long as the shades of contracts. It offers the best of his chest, young and tender. She confirms the strength of the tendons. So there's the health caduceus up there. A lot of guys with measuring devices, spheres. Incredible. What ridiculous stuff. God. And in the midst of the cares of the members of the bodies of the earth, so that he solves and prostrates of the night, you want to faint, I go to sleep. So all the things it eats, its death, have left, beginning with the fall of this way. Spare time, consumer of this way. This way is an old white-haired horse. Wow. Everything will fall once the world are subject to Christ the Redeemer of all. Thanks to the Thunderer, pay, O mankind, with abundant, sweet as grace. One or I, please contact with heavenly joy of life. Awesome. Heavenly joy of life. And when people are living based on these kind of like just things, this is the public like creativity. It must be incredible. I long for that. Here we go. Visually exceed. Supreme bird is acute, is what it says at the bottom. The nine most sense, it says at the top. Visus on her chariot means all, and neither of your invent, it says on the left side. So I translated some of the random little words throughout, but I love the landscape, the falcon, the eagle-y Tartarian bird of awesomeness. Grammar tender child badly, that is the symbol of knowledge, the rest of the guardian. At the top it says seven liberal arts speculatively. Alphabet and grammar, it says on the robe and in her book. Yeah, the grammar, the alphabet, pretty interesting. The education was probably not tampered with as much maybe at some point in the past. It was probably very pure, I'd like to believe. It says track geometry, intervals of place, and unprecedented high, long and wide of the bodies. Measuring device looks like it's on America. Her wrist is on Massachusetts. Florida down there, it looks like Mexico to South America. Also looks like an elephant in some interesting way. But interesting. They loved, yeah, they were able to get around without GPS, no problem. Back in this time in ways that we need to bring back and learn again. Here we go. Uranus starts running the various recourses. Recording his mind will provide. But the word astorum also means stars, so I wasn't sure of the translation, so I also got stars, suns running, and various recourses. Eyes branding, mind to foresee the future. So again, no idea, but love it. Love the maps. That's a star globe map she's got. Awesome. Practical Art Manual and Honest is what it says at the top. Then it says Great Mother of God, 100 Children. That theme, Greys, Caribes, Ray, loyal Italian ops that have calved Parena goodly crops and in many ways in an acrostic in the merry Arbustag, I'm not sure, of light in air. That was a tough translation, but a lot of interesting things in there, not sure what it is. Here we go. The harmony with each other and the differences of the sounds, pleasing to the ear, learned, she discovered that there are music. That is a great discovery. Music is an absolutely unbelievable thing. It is essential. It is a beautiful thing. We should all have the ability to create some form of music because what it does for the mind is just unprecedented. And that wasn't the translation. The translation was just brief, but my little chime in on music. There we go. The Jupiter language as a wild of his Larunda, who I think is an angel or some goddess. Damnarat, I'm not sure that word. Nymphs comprise goes. Mercury, a single birth mother who gave birth to twins architecturally, now presides over the art. I think Laruda is actually a nymph of Spanish origin, is what online I kind of found, but so who knows. Rusalocek, mother. Doris, beautiful first set of beams quickly connect leaks. Aquarak, I'm not sure, hurdles to break the immensity elapses. Ihalorisk, Arab, utmost disclosed, and India. Again, not really sure, but incredible drawing. I love their boats all the time. They always look just amazing. That was an incredible way of travel. I would love to be on the seas back then. Here we go. Alright, Bellona is ancient goddess of war in Rome. And it says Maurtis or Majortis Bellona, and the sister who handles it impious arms, Sanguiniam, implacable his spear in the hand of Guat. As long as the iron in the cave of Vulcan, the vast exercises, Brontech and Steropes, and naked shall Perasmon, I don't know. This one was awesome. The police, Policia, with honor and thank glory and death, and wants to honor and snow victory color wings, all with bay leads me to the stars. Triumph, ranking my house and senate, sacred hill stands. And now this is amazing. On her tablet, it says this at the top, fear God. Second, what you do not want to, and the other is not to do. Amazing. Fraud, author liability. Number 3. 4. Coerce misconduct penalty. 5. Heaven revered. 6. The benefit would be used to ... 7. Aspire to be free. 8. Common private hire. And then there's a Justinian book over there. So I think that is awesome. Those are amazing police things to live by, and I bet their police was even more like just honorable and just sacred of a right and duty and preserving the rights and freedoms of the people even more than we can imagine. And so these are the ones. That's enough for part 1. Part 2 is going to include the different planets, different celestial events, all these amazing things. Just to actually show you a glimpse of what this one is. This says 7 planets, standards and operations, the moon, Luna, and to prolong the leading one because of their innate humidity throughout their lives almost in the water, considering naval warfare, fishing or working, and subject to paralysis. Wow. So there is going to be a lot of awesome ones that I'll show in part 2 of this Bruegel collection, because this guy deserves it. His art is incredible. These are just astounding visions, and the things that go along with it were probably part of the common culture. Like if they survived, I bet there were more, and so many different things like this. Truly a magical time period and existence where art was just flourishing in beautiful ways. Architecture just harmonized with everything. And so stay tuned for part 2 of this little look into his Imaginarium. There's about 180 pages in that book. I'll put the link below. Check it out. I'll translate some more if you don't want to. But bless you all. Hope you all have a great time. If you have better translations, send me them. Definitely. Please. Bless you all.